Last night, while you were asleep, something extraordinary happened inside your brain. You were somewhere else, someone else, maybe, living through situations that made no logical sense but felt completely real. You felt emotions, you made decisions, you experienced things that never happened. And then you woke up, and it was gone. We spend roughly 6 years of our lives dreaming, 6 years of vivid, private experiences that vanish almost the moment we open our eyes. And here's the part that most people find genuinely unsettling. After centuries of trying, scientists still cannot agree on why any of it happens. For most of the 20th century, the dominant answer came from Sigmund Freud. Dreams, he argued, were the language of the unconscious mind, hidden desires, suppressed fears, unresolved conflicts bubbling up in symbolic form while the conscious mind was off duty. It was a compelling idea, and it made dreams feel meaningful, like messages worth decoding. But modern neuroscience largely moved away from Freud. Brain scans don't support the idea of dreams as coded messages, and many researchers landed on the opposite conclusion. Dreams are just noise, random electrical signals firing through the sleeping brain, producing experiences that mean nothing at all. But here's the problem with both theories. Neither one fully explains what we actually observe, and what we observe is far stranger and far more interesting than either Freud or random noise can account for. During REM sleep, the stage where most vivid dreaming occurs, your brain is almost as active as when you're fully awake. The visual cortex fires, the emotional centers light up, the areas responsible for sensation and movement become highly active. But one area goes quiet. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logic, critical thinking, and reality checking, essentially goes offline. This is why dreams feel real while they're happening. The part of your brain that would normally say, wait, this doesn't make sense, isn't available. So flying over a city or talking to someone who died years ago or being late for an exam you took decades ago, all of it feels completely real because nothing is there to question it. So what is the brain actually doing during all this activity? Here's where it gets genuinely fascinating, because researchers have proposed several competing theories, and none of them has won. One leading theory is memory consolidation. Dreams, in this view, are the brain's filing system, processing the day's experiences, deciding what to keep and what to discard, strengthening important memories and connections. Studies show that people who dream about a new skill they're learning perform better at it the next day. The dream isn't random, it's practice. A second theory focuses on emotion processing. Dreams allow the brain to replay emotionally charged experiences in a neurochemically safer environment with lower levels of stress hormones, helping to defuse their emotional impact. This may explain why we often dream about things that worry us, and why a good night's sleep genuinely makes difficult situations feel more manageable. A third theory is threat simulation. Dreams, especially nightmares, evolved as a kind of rehearsal system, allowing the brain to practice responding to dangerous situations without any real risk. You run from something in a dream, you survive. Your brain files away the response.
Here's what surprises most people. All three of those theories could be correct simultaneously. Memory consolidation, emotion processing, threat simulation. None of them contradict each other. The brain might be doing all of it at once. But that still leaves the deepest question completely unanswered. Why do we experience any of it? The brain could theoretically process memories, regulate emotions, and simulate threats without producing any conscious experience at all. It could do all of that in the dark, invisibly, the way your liver processes toxins without you ever knowing. Instead, it produces something. A world, characters, emotions, a narrative you live through as if it were real. Why? This is where dreams connect to one of the deepest unsolved problems in all of science, the nature of consciousness itself. Why does any mental process produce subjective experience? Why is there something it feels like to be inside your own head? Nobody knows. And dreams sit right at the center of that mystery. They are proof that your brain can generate an entire reality, complete with sensation, emotion, and narrative, out of nothing but electrochemical signals in the dark. Every night, without any outside input, your brain builds a world, and you live in it. until the alarm goes off. Humans have been trying to understand dreams for as long as we've been human. Ancient Egyptians believed dreams were messages from the gods. The Greeks built temples specifically for dream incubation. People would sleep there hoping for divine guidance. Indigenous cultures around the world developed rich traditions around dream interpretation that persist to this day. For most of human history, dreams felt like the most important thing that happened to us, more real in some ways than waking life. And then science arrived and tried to explain them away, first as psychology, then as neurology, then as random noise. But the mystery kept surviving because every explanation accounts for part of what dreams are, and none accounts for all of it. We are the only species we know of that wonders about its own dreams, that wakes up and tries to hold on to them, that writes them down, analyzes them, argues about what they mean. And after all that wondering, after centuries of philosophy, psychology, and neuroscience, the honest answer is still, we don't fully know. So tonight, when you close your eyes and the world your brain builds takes over, when you find yourself somewhere impossible, feeling something completely real, you'll know what you're inside. One of the last great mysteries of the human mind. A process that may be filing your memories, processing your emotions, and rehearsing your fears all at the same time. Or something else entirely that science hasn't named yet. Either way, it's happening in the dark, inside your own head, every single night, and the most brilliant minds on Earth are still trying to figure out why. If this made you think differently about what happens when you close your eyes tonight, give this video a like and subscribe, because every week we take something you've never questioned and show you exactly how deep it goes.